Hello everyone, my name is Gabby and welcome to my channel, Nails in Orbit. Today we are doing the second installment of our SpongeBob series, drawing all the characters of SpongeBob. And not only were these the perfect characters to do today, but they were also suggested by one of our subscribers even before the series began. So today we are doing Plankton, Mr. Krabs, and Sandy Cheeks. So if you guys are liking this series, don't forget to subscribe and like and comment down below for the next characters we're going to do. So let's get started. Hello everyone! Yay for the second installment of the SpongeBob series. So of course we're starting off with Plankton and we're gonna do his whole body since he's such a small character. We're gonna do his whole body. First you start off by drawing a little bean shape. He really looks like a bean. So that's what we do first and then we will work off of that. But I just decided to do him on the bottom left corner because I just thought it was good placement for Plankton, but you throw him wherever you like. He also looks kind of like a pickle, you know, like a bean or a pickle, whatever reference you prefer. For his tiny little legs, I thought it was easiest to use my brush. I'm using the 9mm brush from Nails by Dev. It's my favorite length of brush for doing character nail art. And he is mostly just this green color, so he's pretty easy. I did have to mix his colors, not his eyeball, but I did have to mix his colors. I mix most of my colors for characters, so it's totally fine. And I think mixing is fun. You want to get that exact color. I would suggest mixing the color. So now we're using a darker green for his antenna. I did have to go over this a few times because that was just the color. It was a little bit sheer, so we just went over it a few times after I cured it. And we will continue. And now we're doing the eyeball. I spent a lot of time on the eye. I had to cut some of it out, but I spent a lot of time on the eye. But I wanted to make it perfect, so I took my time. Here I'm using my black shading gel just to outline the mouth. Sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't, but today I felt like it. I just wanted to make sure his mouth was placed perfectly before I put any color down, and I liked where it was placed. And it's kind of funny, before you put the eyebrow, it just looks like he's really happy and smiling. So I thought that was kind of funny. Now I'm filling in all of the mouth. I just did all the red because I knew I could cover it with white, so I thought it would just be easier to fill in the whole mouth with all the red and then just go over with the white and the pink for the teeth and the tongue. Honestly, this eyebrow was a little bit of a challenge. This is my second time doing the eyebrow. I really wanted to get, there's like 3 little points at the end of each side of the eyebrow, and I really wanted to get the 3 points for some reason. I probably should have just done 2 and it would have been easier, but that's okay. And then this top shape was a little bit weird. I didn't love it, but I will go back and then put a little bit more of that green color to fix it. But now we're just outlining the antenna. And you just use as thin lines as you can for these antennas. I got a little wonky in some areas, but like I say, you can always go back and fix it. And then we're doing a little, whatever those things are on the antenna. Plankton was definitely my favorite one out of the three today to draw. Just so cute and small and fits on the nail perfectly. Adorable. And the line work, very simple. Overall, I feel like he's a good, like almost beginner character. Like of all the characters of SpongeBob, I feel like Plankton is probably the easiest. Plankton and Patrick, I would say, would be my suggestions if you're first just now getting into character art. And now we're doing the eyeball. This eyeball, it was a nice swoop. I did a good job on this one. Alrighty, and now we're just finishing up all of our line work, and we're going to move on to our touch-ups, and then we're going to do some shading. So now here we're going over the shading. I'm just using the black shading gel by Nails by Dev. You can also just use a darker green. I feel like I almost prefer that. She's actually, or like a jelly. She's actually coming out with like jelly colors, which I'm really excited to use for shading because sometimes I just feel like the black is just too like dark. It can make a color a little bit murky. So that's my only concern when I use like the shading gel over certain colors. Sometimes I won't use it. So that's my only suggestion. And there he is, all done. Beautiful, gorgeous. And now we're moving on to Mr. Krabs. So Mr. Krabs, we zoomed in. I'm mostly just doing his face, his shirt, and a little bit of his pants. So we get like a little bit of him because I was like, if I make him too small, it's going to be so hard. So I was like, I think this is good. We get face, shirt, pants. That's good. So now for the eyes, I just started with the eyes because I wanted to make sure they were as high as I could get them. And then that would justify like how much of the shirt and the pants that I could show. And I was fiddling with these eyes for a long time. I had to cut some out, but you just fiddle with them until you like them. And then just take your time. And now I'm using red to fill in this color. My red was a little bit like transparent. So I was like, is my D&D red? So I had to go back in with my red liner gel later. And I think it would have been a little bit easier if I started with that just because, you know, some colors are like D&D. I love D&D, but sometimes it's a little bit not as opaque as some other colors, but you know, that happens sometimes and it's fine. We just put more layers. But here we are. I'm just getting his head placed the way that I like it, adding more maneuver, just moving things around a little bit to get it perfect. Now we are doing the mouth. On one side, we do a little curve that's sticking out, and then we do the other side curve that's sticking out. I thought this picture was so fun of Mr. Krabs, so I had to use it, the big old smile. This is me going in with that liner gel that I was talking about earlier. And now we are doing the shirt. I'm just color blocking the whole shirt. I'm not trying to like make that V right now. I'm just doing basically like a curved rectangle, and I'm not trying to mess with like his collar or anything because I will go back and do that after. And now for the big mouth. So we're starting with, this is my the Nails by Dove liner gel in white, and I'm going in and making that, pack it all in there. And with the liner gels, just make sure you don't put them on too thick or they might not cure as well when you're doing like large spaces. So yeah, and then I just fill that in and get it all perfect. And I do go over it one more time later with my white D&D so that it's a big space I can just glob it on and not have to worry about it. Now I'm going in with the white for the collar. So this is his little undershirt. And I'm just filling in that white triangle right there. And I'm going to go back with my red on top of it to get, like, it's not perfectly lined up with the blue like I have it now. There's a little bit of a divot right there. So you can see that it's like an undershirt. And now for his cute little nose. This was my second time doing the nose. I like to tell you guys that just so you can know that I do have to repeat things sometimes to make sure I like it the way I like it. Take your time. Do not get mad at yourself or anything like that. And now I'm doing his little eyelashes. I honestly didn't even realize those were there until I had to do them. I was like, I almost wanted to reference other pictures because I was like, are you sure Mr. Krabs looks like this? Because I watched SpongeBob so much growing up, but looking at the characters like in so much detail instead of like as a whole show, you're like, is that what they really look like? Sometimes it was kind of funny because I was like, Plankton, are you sure? And now we're going in with the line work. And on SpongeBob, like on these characters, all the lines are pretty thin. So you'll get a lot of good practice with your thin line work with these characters, especially Mr. Krabs. Let me know what characters you guys are looking forward to most. I think I'm pretty excited for like the villains of the show. I think that'll be really fun, like Man Ray. My fiance, I didn't even remember Man Ray, and then my fiance said, mentioned him, and I was like, oh my God, I do remember Man Ray. Or the chocolate episode, we have to do that one. The pizza episode, the Valentine's one. There's just so many options. Also, I have to draw my little sister, oh my God, my twin, sorry. She painted on a canvas this little character. Let me pop it up. Let me go take a picture right now. You guys remember this episode, right? This one was so good. The little this is a good one. And then remember I did this line earlier. It was too thick. See? Easy peasy fix. We just put some white on top. Looks good as new. For this yellow outline, I did use a liner gel because it was going to be over black, so it would be a little bit harder to cover the black with the yellow. And then here we're doing a little bit of touch-ups on the eyeballs. I want them to be a little bit more oval than they were circle. And then a quick outline for this belt part, and we're close to done. A little highlight on the eyes. What else we got? We're almost done, I think. Yep, and then a few more touch-ups. And Mr. Krabs is all done. Ooh, Mr. Krabs. Look at Mr. Krabs. Hey. And if you're doing these on a client or yourself, don't forget 2 top coats. 2 top coats. And now we begin Sandy. For some reason, I feel like Sandy was the hardest one out of the bunch, but it could have been because she has a brown outline around her face instead of a black. You guys will see me do that later. And I think that was affecting my mind and making it seem like she was a little bit unfinished because she kind of matches the same as Patrick and SpongeBob because SpongeBob has a green outline and Patrick has that darker pink color. So they kind of match in that way, but Mr. Krabs and Plankton and Squidward do not, as you guys can see. So we're starting out with Sandy. So I just took quite a bit of time to just get her head placed the way that I wanted. I wanted her to be sort of the same-ish zoomed in. She's a little bit more zoomed in than Mr. Krabs. But yeah, I think next time I try them, I'll try to zoom them out just a little bit more. Just like a little bit further back. But I really wanted you guys to get the details. Ooh, hold on. Sorry guys, I heard a noise and it freaked me out. So I had to go check. I think something probably dropped at my nail desk, but it's spooky. You startled me for a second there. This little bit of her neck did not get filmed, so sorry guys. It was just the outline, so just a little neck shape, and then you fill it in. So I was super excited about her little astronaut helmet because I thought it would look so cool with the encapsulated background. So I tried a few times to get this circle the way that I wanted to look because I didn't want it to be too far up because I really wanted to show the flower. And then I made the line a little bit thick, but it's okay. I wanted it to be a little bit thicker, but it was kind of a little bit real thick. And now we do the flower. I just wanted to make sure I got the flower in there. And yeah, that was really it. I had it a little bit too high the first few times I did it. So I just shortened it a little bit and it was perfect. Now we're just filling out the flower. I just started with that yellow dot and then I just really used my brush to get all those petals in there and then I will outline it. And this is the brown outline I'm talking about. I think maybe if I made it a tad darker, I would have liked it a little bit more. Because I still like it, but I think I would have liked it a little bit more if it was a little bit darker, just a little bit. Now I'm going in with my black outlines. There's always also black outline along with the colored outline on these characters on SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy. And now we're going in with the eyeballs. Another critique here. I should have made them a little bit bigger. So just think about that. Just a little bit bigger because they're basically almost touching the yellow part of her mouth. So if they were a little bit bigger, they would have been the perfect size. Now we're doing the mouth. You can almost think of the mouth as like an upside down triangle kind of. So kind of think of like that, like a bowl, or if you're like drawing a bowl. That's a perfect example of it, I think. So just fill it all in. I'm doing the same thing I did for Plankton's mouth, just doing the base background color first and then putting the teeth and the tongue on top of that. Now I'm going back to the line work. I did jump around on Sandy quite a bit. I was doing hers. I was like pretty late when I was doing hers, probably like 11 or 12 last night. So I was just jumping around. I wasn't keeping a system really at all, but that's how I do it usually. I want to do line work now. I want to do the color now. So you just have a flow, do your own flow, pick when you want to do what. I try to keep it semi-organized when I'm filming videos so you guys no one gets confused or anything like that, but I guess I was just doing whatever I wanted with Sandy. And now we're doing the teeth. So I did a line. It was just not in the right spot, so ignore her center tooth line. I'm going to fix that. But I was like, I need to move on. I can't wipe it yet because none of the other lines were dry at that point. So I just had to wait. Here I am just going in with the edits with my white, and I will fix the tooth in just a second. We just got that line away because it wasn't centered, so I did not like it. And now we're outlining everything else that needs black. I loved that the flower was outlined with a hot pink. I think it was very cute and added just another tone to the flower, which I thought was nice. And now here we are. Sandy is all done. I hope you loved these three characters. Which one was your favorite? Plankton, Mr. Krabs, or Sandy? And let me know who you guys want to see next because I had these three planned, but I don't have the next three planned. So you guys let me know. And don't forget to subscribe and like if you like this series. And I will see you guys in the next one.